going to create one page in our junk journal using a word that would best describe our life right now. Welcome, this is Barbara from Vienna, Austria, and this is your channel for vintage inspired art. So this is my prompt list, which is as always linked below for you. And I'm going to tackle prompt number 3, which says, write down one word that would best describe your life right now. Explain why you chose that word. So as always, I'm going to circle it so I know that it's done. This will go into my junk journal once I have one. And this is where we're at with the signatures we're working on. So we have this one, which is completely done. And then I have this one, which I am still working on, and there's some empty pages that I want to complete before moving on to another signature. If you've missed any of my junk journal with me's on how I created any of these pages, I will link my playlist for these down below for you as well. One thing I wanted to use for today's spread is a part of a wrapping paper. So I got this from one of my best friends, Lil, because I recently celebrated my birthday. So August is my birthday month, and Lil is always very particular about what wrapping paper she chooses, which I love, of course, because it's perfect for my journal. And thankfully, she always picks beautiful wrapping papers that are not glossy, because a lot of wrapping papers are glossy. So that's awesome. And this one is, as you can see, Snow White themed, and I think is just fabulous. These images are so fun. So I want to cut something out from here and somehow use that in my journal. First, I'm going to choose a page in my journal that I want to work on. And I think what would work really well is if we're working with a fairy tale, to work next to this page that already has this beautiful image here, which looks like it's from another fairy tale book. And I think the mushrooms somehow go very well with the Snow White theme. So I chose this part of the wrapping paper. And now I'm just going to place my page here and draw around it so that I know where I need to cut. So this is what I chose, and I'm going to just draw here with my pencil. And I'm going to use my tearing ruler for this, which I have linked for you below. And I'm going to tear a little bit inside those lines because I don't want the page, or I don't want the image to be as wide as the page is. One of my viewers recently asked me if I ever used this rough side of the tearing edge, and I really don't, because it seems like it's too rough, but we can try it here. Why not? Just for demonstration purposes. Let's see what it would look like. Yeah, so here you can see this is the rough torn edge. So it works as well, but it's a bit too rough for my taste. So I definitely like this smaller edge better. Okay, let's see if this fits. Need to adjust it at all. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit still too wide for my liking, so I'll just take off a little bit more on that one edge. Yeah, that is better, because I did want the book page to peek through a little bit. I'm going to ink up my edges with my vintage photo, and I actually have no idea yet what I'm gonna do next. What I'm gonna use, how I'm going to incorporate my word. I usually don't plan out my pages at all. The most I usually know is maybe some of the materials I want to use and the prompt I want to do, but that's pretty much as far as I go as far as planning. And I just put some glue stick on the back to glue this on. Using my bone folder to make sure there's no creases or anything. And actually, I'm really happy just with this page now as it is. Really nice. Okay, there's one image here that I haven't used that I think is really cool, which is this one right here. So I think I'm going to fussy cut her and then think about what we can do with her. I mean, there's other really nice images. Oh, there's even mushrooms here. I didn't see that. No wonder I thought it would go well with our mushroom page. I didn't even see it. And there's some dwarfs here, or gnomes. No, they're dwarfs. Snow White has dwarfs. And this is a really cool image as well. But I think, yeah, I'll just cut this one out for now and then I'll see what to do next. While I was fussy cutting some images, I remembered that there's another prompt, which is number 7, which reads, write about a magical memory in your past and add magical, fantastical elements to your page. And I just decided that I'm going to combine these two prompts and make my own new prompt out of it, meaning I will write down the word that best describes my life right now and I will write about it. And I will use the magical, fantastical elements from this wrapping paper from the number 7, but I'm going to leave out the magical memory. And I can do that not because I'm the creator of this list and I can change it, but because this list is inspiration only. So if you see something and there's just a word that sparks your interest and you make something completely different out of it, that's perfect. This is just to provide you with some thoughts and inspiration. So use this as you want. Don't use it only literally. Just do whatever comes to your mind. So I'm going to combine these two. And I have cut out a few more of these images from the wrapping paper. This one is really cute. I didn't see that until I cut it out. It says, remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. How cute. Yeah, and so we have some dwarves here. We have the wicked witch, more dwarves and a squirrel, and the mushrooms, and this one that I wanted to use anyway. So what I'm thinking is, since I have so many cute images and I also don't want to really cover this one up, I thought maybe I could do like a little fold out thing that I can pull out, that I can maybe on one side do some collaging on, and on the back side I could write. And that way I could open up the booklet and still see this beautiful page. So first I need to make a decision how high I want this booklet to be. I don't need it to be the full size. So maybe I'll do about here. So obviously this is a coffee dyed paper. I did use some distress stained daubers here, the honey, while it was drying. So that's why you have the yellow there. I'm just going to tear this because my paper trimmer is somewhere else and I'm too lazy to get up now. So I'm gonna try to tear this as straight as I can. So now we need to think about how will we fold it. So I'm gonna attach it to the side and I think I'm probably gonna glue it down. So we're going to need a fold here first. So I'm thinking this can then open like that. And then, what do we do? Does it fold? Maybe it folds this way. Does that make sense? Or do we need it to fold in ways? No, I think it needs to then fold this way. So back on itself. And again, I need to decide how wide do I want this to be. I don't want it to be very wide. So I'll just do this. Make a nice crease. And I'll take this out of the way. And then I'll fold it back on itself again. So I will fold it where this other crease is, not all the way to the edge. I'm not sure why, it just seems like that's what I should do. Don't you just love my tutorials? They're so specific. Okay, so we have this, and maybe we do one more. So I can then just tear it off here where the fold is. And then maybe at the end, we could even then add a tab. So what I'm thinking is, so I'm gluing it here, right? Maybe I'll center this. And then we can have it open up like this so we can see the collaging, which will be on the front side. And we can also open it like this to see some journaling on the back. I think that makes sense a little bit. What I want to do is I just want to cut off these corners here. No particular reason. It's just an aesthetic thing. Then I'm going to ink up all the edges, including the creases here. And then I'm going to make a tab to put here. And I'm thinking maybe we'll just do a fabric tab. That should be cute. Everything is inked up, both sides, including the creases. And now I have to think about what color do I want my fabric tab to be. And I'm kind of thinking red would be nice because it's a nice contrast to the blue. We have the red apple here. We have some red flowers in her hair. We have this baker's twine, and we have some other mushrooms that are in red. So a lot of red, small accents already, and I think it would be perfect to add another one. So this is my little drawer of scraps, or of fabric scraps. And so now I just want to find one. Actually, this one would probably be very cute. Let's see. Yeah, actually this is perfect because it also matches with these mushrooms. So I love that. So all I'm going to do is I'm taking my fabric pinking shears and I will just cut out a piece. And I will adhere it with my art glitter glue just because I have it right here. And I'm not gluing down the whole thing, like I'm not putting glue on the whole piece of fabric because I don't want it smooshed together. I do want it to kind of be free on the top. I'm gonna center this. Yeah, so what I mean is I want it to have this little loop here and not be squished down flat, which is why I only put the glue on the ends. So now this serves as a tab to pull up, to pull out our little thingy here. Okay, before I glue this down, I want to do the writing and do some collaging because that's just easier. So this is going to be the front image that we're going to see first when we look at the page. So I kind of want her on the front because she's just really awesome. She's like a badass. Excuse my language. I've also taken out my drawer of scraps. And by the way, if you're interested in seeing how my craft space is organized, I do not have a craft room, unfortunately. I am working on my dining room table, but I have an amazing craft closet. So if you're interested in seeing how I've organized my craft supplies, if you have a small space and you need inspiration, I will link that for you as well, and I will put a card up here for you to click if you're interested. So I'm going to make some like just very simple collage for the background here. No white edges allowed in vintage collaging. I think I'm kind of okay with this. Not super excited, but something like this I think should work. And I'm just gonna glue these down now, and then we will take it from there. So that's my first collage for the cover. I am going to be adding a word to that for how I feel, but I'm kind of in a dilemma now. I obviously did not think this through whatsoever, because the word I had in my mind to add was excited, and I will explain why I feel excited. But does she look excited? I don't think so. So when I look at her, the word that comes to mind is badass. And I hope that word doesn't offend anyone, but it's the first word that comes to mind when I see her. And I also kind of feel like a badass, because I will explain that later. So maybe I will just have to change that word I was thinking about and just put badass here. I kind of think I need to do that. But before we do that, we need to make 2 more collages, or we can actually just make one bigger collage. I don't know. Let's see what we can do with the elements that we have cut out. So this is what we have. That's a lot. I probably won't be able to fit all of them. Definitely need to have this guy with that quote in there. Maybe here on the bottom. Then I do kind of want her, because she just fits to this badass vibe that obviously I have going on here. The dwarfs, I don't know, how are they gonna work? Mushrooms would be cool. Like I don't usually just place things randomly, but maybe I should. I mean, that's how it was on the wrapping paper, right? They were just kind of placed randomly, but this kind of seems weird. Squirrel is cute, of course. Interesting. Seems kind of random, doesn't it? I don't know. Of course, I'm gonna make a background. I think I like this better. I'm just gonna leave these 3 elements, and maybe with some of the torn scraps, I could make kind of like layers here that looks like it's like hills or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think I like this, and then maybe I will actually use the rest of the space to do some writing, and then continue on the back, and then maybe on the back I could add some more of these elements, and then also do some writing there. I kind of like that idea. So I will glue all this down. And now, since I have the crease going through here, I want to continue that, of course, into my images. So I'm carefully going to fold this And then add the distress ink there as well. So this is what it looks like. So on the back side, where I'm also going to be doing some writing, I have these still to play with, all of these dwarves. Maybe I can just randomly put these here, maybe like this. Do I need something underneath maybe just to give them a little more base? Yeah, I think I kind of want to stick them onto something. I'm just using the scraps that I have left over from the other collage, because it's always so satisfying to use scraps. But the thing is, you'll never get on top of it. You think like, wow, I used some scraps. At the same time, during the same journaling session, you create more scraps than you've actually used, right? Do you know this? So maybe while I'm gluing these down, I can tell you about why I feel the way I feel. So maybe I can first tell you about why I'm so excited. It's because, maybe I'll just use 2 words and change the prompt again, because I really need to add excited in here. Because, I don't know, I've mentioned this maybe a few times, not too often, that I'm planning my own online shop, and it's very close before the launch. I think whenever you start a new business, things have to go wrong, right? You have to go through this phase of everything going wrong before it goes right. I was just recently in that phase of where everything was going wrong. I thought I had it all figured out, and then I kept having to start back at square one, and it was 3 weeks before my launch, and I didn't have a shop. Like, I didn't know what platform to use, even though it took me months to decide that I don't want an Etsy shop. And I was really happy not having an Etsy shop. I researched all the platforms, all the e-commerce platforms, to see what the best solution would be. And I made a decision, and I was kind of happy with the decision. And I started uploading my products, my digital files, and like the way everything looked, etc. until I realized that that shop or that platform didn't have the possibility to show local currencies, meaning that, so I'm in Austria, so my local currency is the euro. But if you are looking at this, for example, from the US or from Canada or Australia or whatever, I want my prices, of course, to show in your local currency. Because what do you do with euros? Who's going to actually take the time to convert prices into your local currency? And you wouldn't have seen what you're actually paying until you get, like, for example, your credit card statement or your PayPal statement. And that was a no-go for me. So I tried various other platforms, and some of them had that feature, but then they had other features that I was either missing, or there were some things that I didn't like. So then I thought, okay, well, maybe I just need to do an Etsy store, because I know Etsy does that. And besides Etsy having a lot of issues, and I've seen so many videos about shop owners with all their problems with Etsy, and I understand. So I didn't want to deal with all the Etsy stuff that's happening. But I thought, okay, maybe that's just what I have to do. And so I created an Etsy shop. I didn't open it yet, but I had all my products in there. Everything was ready to go, until I came upon some technical difficulties, and I realized there's no one to ask. Like, there is not a single Etsy email address you can write to. And if you somehow find one, I think they used to have one, but currently there is none. I was reading some forums and stuff, even for a lot of shop owners who have managed to use an email address, they often didn't get replies for weeks and really had issues, like where their shop was closed for weeks because they didn't get any technical help, things like that. And that's just things I don't want to deal with. And I was like, whoa, I'm not doing this. I'm so happy this happened before my shop opened. So I'm like, okay, that was for me the confirmation that I don't want an Etsy shop and I want another platform. So I started back at square one, trying to pick another platform. So then I finally found one. So obviously my shop isn't opened yet, but I'm so excited because finally I have a site where everything seems to be great. And I'm so excited to open my shop, of course, which is going to be September 1st, by the way. So I will have some digitals. I know you have been requesting also for me to sell journals, and I do have some, but I haven't figured out yet how to best sell these. So that'll be stage 2. For now, I'm just gonna start with digitals. But just so you know why I feel so excited, because it is so close to the launch. So this is, by the way, how this flip out is going to look, and I think it's pretty cute. So now I just have to write something on this. Yeah, so that's what I've been dealing with the last few weeks, but I'm in a really good place now. I still have a few things to tweak on my shop, but it's looking good. I can't believe I'm doing this. Maybe to come back to how I can spin this into the badass situation is because, you know, to be honest, I was always someone who was very hung up on financial security, but I have taken this leap to quit my job and to stop working in offices, which I used to do, and to take this time to, you know, to build up my own shop and to have my own business. And I would have never thought that I would be able to do this, because it's a huge leap for me. And I'm so happy I did, because I'm just so happy I don't have to go to an office every day. And I mean, besides the corona situation now, of course, where I'm happy to be able to work from home, but in general, like, I don't want office drama. I don't want all the things that you just have to deal with in an office. And I'm so happy and grateful every day that I can work from home. So it means the world to me. And so making this decision for me is a badass decision, because it's not something I do lightly, and it's something that takes a whole lot of courage for me. So that's why I think it's legit to put badass here and then to maybe add the excited here, and then journal about why. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Maybe just first start off with stamping the word here. Going to use my clickable alphabet stamps. I'm just seeing, yeah, it has 2 A's, it has 2 S's. Should be good to go, because you always have to check whether there's enough letters, enough double letters for whatever you want to stamp. Otherwise it gets kind of complicated to stamp it in 2 parts and to line it up correctly. And I'm using here a scrap of a book page, just because I think this patina is really beautiful. So let us do that. And I had to actually look that up. Badass is actually 1 word. I was not sure. I thought it was maybe 2 words, or it was hyphenated. It's not a word I've ever written, I think, anywhere, but it's a cool word. Again, I hope it doesn't offend anyone. Maybe this video will get demonetized. I don't know, but it's just something I have to do. I'm going to use my Ranger archival ink in jet black. I have linked this for you below as well. Did I say I linked these? I don't know. I have these linked for you below as well, in case I didn't mention that. I will start writing now, and then we will add this to our journal. Okay, let me read you what I wrote. So I wrote the prompt first. So write down a word that best describes your life right now. Explain why you chose that word. And while writing this, I came up with a bunch of different words that I feel. So yeah, I cannot limit it to one. So I feel both like a badass and also very excited at this stage of my life. I feel like a badass because I'm conquering my fears and taking a leap into the unknown. This is my first time having something that's truly my own, and I'm proud of how far I have come. I'm leaving behind any financial security and following my heart and my gut, doing what I love and believing in myself, and that this is the right path for me. I'm super excited to start a fresh career, to be my own boss, to share my journey with this amazing community. I'm also thankful for having this opportunity and to be in a program for new entrepreneurs, being able to take workshops for bookkeeping and legal aspects, as well as other business advice from consultants. How blessed I am to be on this exciting journey. So lots of words to describe how I feel. And now all that's left to do is to add this here. So I'm just going, oh no, what did I do? In my excitement, I wrote over the flap, which is going to be glued down. That's not good. All right, let's see, how can I fix this? Okay, I think this should work. Yep, way to go. Too excited there. Yeah, it's okay. It's not beautiful, but it will do. So there's our page, our badass page. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got inspiration to do something with maybe some other fussy cutout things you have, or maybe you have some beautiful wrapping paper that you can use, or you can add stickers or whatever you want. Your imagination is, as always, the only limit. So just have fun and create an awesome page. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see more. I have lots of more fun ideas coming your way. And please give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.